You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Keeping Up with the Kardashians After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Keeping Up with the Kardashians After Show.
Hello, my beauteous gorginas at home. Yes. We're back in the studio, finally. This is Season 9, Episode 1 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, back with our favorite Hollywood royalty family. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy, and joining me is...
I'm Jason Ikeler.
And our newbies.
Woo! I'm Francesca Dugan.
And I'm Stephaune Wallace.
Glad to have you guys on and joining us. It's going to be a fun show.
Get ready.
So this episode was pretty deep. It was a kind of a tearjerker. I didn't actually start crying, but I felt really sad for most of it.
You wanted to wait to the end of the day so you didn't
don't
exactly.
make up,
But it's all the
like
things
that.
we've wanted Kardashians to discuss that they didn't discuss last season.
Sure.
Yes.
Like we want to go there with Kris and Bruce. We want to go there with Khloe and Lamar. Even Kendall and Kylie, because we talked about that. Like this is all affecting them.
And we're seeing how they're a real family too. Like usually we see them, flying across the world with their fabulous clothes and shoes. And in this episode, we're talking about Kris and Bruce's divorce, and Khloe and Lamar are going to get a divorce. And it's just the family's falling apart, basically. But they're still holding on together pretty strong, I think. They still have like their family values, it seems like. But in this episode, there are so many.
Their values are a little effed up, though.
It was, exactly.
For real.
They're effed up values.
I know.
Let's all flip off the paparazzi together.
Well, and okay, so Bruce
I
and
like
Kris, what do you guys think about that? Because I feel like it's very messed up.
I felt like they really staged it for the show. I don't
Do
know
you
if I'm
think?
the only one that felt that way.
But I think a lot of times they do reenact things that happen for the show.
Sure,
And I'm
sure.
assuming that's probably how it sort of did happen. Like,
Probably.
Bruce just extended his lease and then they decided to live apart.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a long time coming, that whole separation. Kris has always been a Rolling Stone, in my opinion. I don't think it's come out yet enough, and it will now.
I always have felt bad for Bruce that he can't get a corner or a cabinet in his own house. Like this is an Olympic athlete that, he's old, he's retired, and he has all this money, and he can't have his own little area in the backyard to play golf. He can't have his corner of the garage anymore. He moves out temporarily and it gets
he's
taken
neutered.
over.
He's a neutered male in his own house.
Usually I'm like Team Kris all the way and not Team Bruce, but for this I'm definitely Team Bruce because poor guy can't have space in his own house, and I wouldn't go and talk to Kris about keeping the beach house. I would just do it too because she's just going to say no, and then he's going to be in the same position.
Right.
See,
It's
but
like, if you
I
want
feel
space,
like
just
I'm
do
kind of
it.
with like Kendall and Kylie when they're like, "Are you getting divorced or not?" Because it's like shit or get off the pot. You can't just be
In
friends and living
between.
in separate things and still be husband and wife. That's not how it works. If you're married, marriage is tough. Suck it up, move back in, work it out, or break it off.
Yeah, I just thought the whole thing was
That's
really
true.
awkward. It's just really awkward. But like, I thought back to the episode where they wanted to put like, what was it, like a golf thing in the backyard or something like that.
Putting green.
Yeah, putting green, and like Kris just totally just was like, no. So I feel bad for him, and I kind of liked how Kylie was like, no, I get you, Dad, when Kendall was really upset, but Kylie was like, no, I understand. It's kind of true. You kind of get a little
Pushed around.
Yeah.
But I think that's something they have to work out. I don't think the best way to go about that is like, oh, we would just won't spend time together, because that doesn't solve any problems.
true.
Like they need to work the problems out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like Bruce living at this beach house is the greatest thing for him. I mean, he can now secretly have like the little Asian strippers or whatever he does, and we don't see him. And and just live his life. He's always been wanting to live his life.
Wear his hair in a ponytail.
Okay,
he's living
also,
free.
Do we think Bruce is going, not a midlife crisis because he's pretty old, like a 3/4 life crisis, because he's trying to do his hair like his son's?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Man.
was thinking when he had that ponytail in, I was thinking, I like ponytails on guys, but hot younger guys.
Right.
If Brody had a ponytail
That'd
with
be
his
hot.
tattoos,
Or
that'd be
like Brandon's
hot.
ponytail is hot.
Yeah.
But not on your
Chris.
father. You don't want it on your father.
But his hair, I was thinking about this. Like,
Yeah.
I want him to cut it off. It bothers me a lot. But it's almost like a Donald Trump, like, piece of him now,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like, that's his hair, the mushroom hair.
He
and
can't
now
get
the
rid of it.
Well,
ponytail
it's the
kind
only
of-
thing on him that's real.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's got to stick with that.
Is it though? Because right here in the front part, there's
That's
like
true. There
it's
might
really
be a little,
weird.
there's
I don't know.
Something sewn in there.
Yeah, I don't
Speaking
know.
of his face changing, did you guys notice his nose? There was something, like his
It
nose
was
was
like
How can you not?
peeling or red
Yeah.
or
Yeah, there's always
Rosacea.
something weird going on
Something.
with his nose, peeled off or
Well, I kind of do
spotted.
feel
Usually
bad
don't
for him
notice it
because he
as
had
much.
plastic surgery before it was good.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, if he would have had it now, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel bad for him because now he's just always on those lists of like worst plastic
Uh-huh.
surgery ever
Right,
and
right.
has to deal with that now.
I like
But
when you
I-
said plastic surgery before was good.
You know what I mean?
It's like
That's
plastic
true.
surgery now.
Yeah, they know
You
what they're doing now. It's a lot better.
I can't wait for plastic
I
surgery in
know.
the future.
Give me some Botox. But I do feel like I don't agree with anything that he's doing because I think he's acting like a kid.
Sure.
You're a married man. You have to deal with things like that. Like, you don't just buy a house and move away because you don't get your own way.
I think
Yeah.
dealing with Chris probably is intimidating. Maybe not intimidating, but kind of hard. Just like, she kind of does run the show. So
But I don't think that's ever changed either. Like, I'm sure
Probably.
she's always been that crazy.
Yeah.
I think that it was all staged. I felt like this whole scene, like the scene with the houses and stuff, I felt like it was very staged, and I feel like they probably knew that they were going to get divorced and their relationship was crumbling.
Yeah.
And they didn't want the media to know. They wanted their kids to be fine and stuff, and so they like had him move out for a little bit, and they
Sure.
kind of like came
Yeah.
up with a story that makes perfect sense.
You know, last season when she was interacting with Babyface a lot and taking all those meetings, I was like, it's so obvious that Chris steps out on Bruce. To me, that's the way I felt. So I feel like right now it's just the manifestation of all that. They're trying to.
Do you think
smooth it
you
over.
think she cheats on him?
I do personally. I think
wouldn't be
I
surprised.
think
I
she
don't think-
has. I think she has. I don't think she just continuously
the
goes
time.
out, but
I just
I
don't
think
know
it's
when
happening.
she would have time to.
yeah, she's
Yeah, she's
super
busy.
Like, she's managing like
Momager.
6
Yeah.
huge stars' career. That
yeah, but you remember those meetings with Babyface? She was taking them at night, at 10 o'clock at night, whenever he paged her or text her page. I'm like in the 1980s. But, text her, whatever. She'd jump up and go. So she could do whatever she wants. And she runs the show all the time.
yeah.
They had the big family gatherings though to discuss.
That's cute. That's cute, though.
I like that, but I love how Khloe was talking about how she might not be blood related when
That
Kendall
was
was like,
hilarious.
"Oh,
She
we
just threw
won't
it
be
in.
sisters anymore," and then she just like casually threw it in, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're all blood." Well, maybe not me, but and it's like, "Ooh, Chris."
I know.
Yeah.
She
ouch.
didn't even like argue it. She kind of chuckled and was like, ha, "Oh,
She's like,
Let's not go there.
yeah."
Yeah,
I
that's
do like
funny.
that the family is so vocal to them, and I'm completely with Khloe on this too because she's like, I told you before you moved out, it's not going to solve anything,
right.
and all they did was extend their problems. And I feel really bad for Kendall and Kylie through the whole thing because they aren't
Definitely.
getting a normal childhood.
Well, they never were. I mean, they're growing up in the spotlight. They're growing up in the media. But Kendall's taking it really, really hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I was asking you guys. I couldn't remember who was younger because she is taking it really, really hard, and it's just sad because you could tell she just has a lot of anger and she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Well, she's always been the one that kind of, goes off and hides and like
Yeah.
excludes herself and gets upset more easily.
Yeah.
And so she kind of is like the baby emotionally,
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
not age-wise, but yeah, I think that she's the most torn up, even though she was the one that was like, "Why don't you guys get a divorce?" She was the one that just straight up said it. Like, if you guys want to be friends, why are you married? What's wrong
Yeah.
with you? And she has a point. Like, why would you just be married to someone that you're not attracted
Yeah.
to anymore? You have issues with.
The 18-year-old is
Well,
counseling.
and if
She
they're,
has a
like,
point.
if they're like, we're gonna stay together, then stay together for the kids and give them a
Sure.
normal childhood. Don't be like, oh, daddy lives here, mommy lives here, but we're
Right.
still married.
Well, I mean, with Kylie being 18, Kendall's 16, about to be 17. They're almost about out of the house. They already bought Kendall a house, or
Yeah, they have cars. They're out.
They
and
got all
about
their,
now.
So by the time Kylie's give them another year, go ahead and move on. everybody will be fine.
Divorce is probably the hardest when you're in high school, though, and especially if you're in the public eye. But,
Sure.
I
Oh,
mean, Kendall's dating Harry Styles from One Direction, and then Kylie's
with
dating
Jaden
Jaden
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're busy doing their
Their
own
own
things,
thing.
like modeling and acting and doing other things with their lives that hopefully they're distracted from the divorce and all
Yeah.
the stuff.
They're little brands of their own.
Little brands of their own. Kendall is.
I hope they get
gorgeous.
their. I'm sure they will get
Oops,
their own
sorry.
spinoff soon.
I think they should.
Yeah.
All the promo stuff I noticed for this new season, season 9 of the Kardashians. I don't know if you guys noticed this on Instagram and stuff, but it's all the women. It's
Yeah.
Kris, the
Yeah.
3 girls, and then the 2 younger girls. There's no Bruce, no Lamar, no Rob,
Yeah.
whose last name is Kardashian.
Yeah, I
might
think that got
remind you.
played
I
out
might
last season
remind
though.
you.
Like it was like I like the Jenners, but it was a little too much Brandon and Brody and
Yeah,
Rob's
sure.
way.
I
Like,
agree.
We get it. I want to see the girls and their
Yeah.
stuff more.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that they have like all the girls, like girl power, like in
Uh-huh.
the pictures
Sure.
and stuff. I mean, there's so much changing and evolving in this family, anyways.
Yeah. They tried with Brandon and Brody. We're just not interested in them, though, huh?
I was
I guess.
actually just rewatching The Hills
I was
too.
just about to say, I think, yeah.
And Brody like was so cool then, and now I feel like he's just a deadbeat.
Right.
But I feel like that's most of the people from the hills.
Yeah.
Actually, Elsie.
Yeah,
Elsie's,
leave Lauren alone.
Elsie's fabulous. Elsie, I want your hair. Okay.
Don't we all?
Don't we
That's
all?
funny.
Should we start talking about Khloe and Lamar speaking about divorce?
Yeah, let's get into
God,
the crack
this-
tales.
So,
Oh,
ooh, the crack
this is
tail.
crazy because it's. I like that she is addressing it on the show, but she's doing it. You have to give her props because she's doing it in a way that doesn't like tarnish Lamar's image.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's already tarnished it himself.
Right.
And I feel like the way she's handling it on the show, because there's a lot they could cover that they're not.
Right.
And so she's still being open in her personal life, but she's not like completely throwing him under the bus, which is what I would have done if my husband started doing crack and cheating on me. But she's being very nice about it.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
No. I talked to the Clippers trainer, the Los Angeles Clippers trainer, and he was saying that Lamar has always been that type of dude. So I feel like Khloe came into this relationship, and I know it's been beautiful on TV, but off screen, Lamar has always been kind of shady, kind of had a lot of different women in different cities,
Okay.
you know, and I don't know. I think
A lot
now
of
it's
those
just
guys probably
Now
do.
it's just coming
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're
Well,
athletes.
probably
Players.
he's been a successful basketball player when they got in the relationship.
Yep.
So she probably wouldn't question anything
Right.
if he's always gone on trips and he can't answer his phone when he's on the
Sure,
road.
sure,
Like, oh,
sure.
he's in practice. So that's probably not anything new to her. And then when all these, because I think when a lot of the allegations came out at first, she didn't believe it.
Right.
And then you read stuff where she like walked in on him with other girls, and
Yeah.
you just feel so bad for her because
Sure.
she gives up everything for him, and I don't think he's really sacrificed anything for her.
Yeah,
She's such a good person,
She is.
too.
She's so
She's sweet.
That's what I was gonna say. When Kim was talking with, was it Courtney? She was just saying this is the first time she really feels that she's really like loves somebody, and you could see that just from
Yeah.
all the other episodes in the past, the stuff that Khloe would do for him, like
Yeah.
photo shoots and whatever, just how she would talk to him, like
So in love with him.
yeah, and it must be so devastating because when you are in love with someone, you just think of them as this like amazing person.
Uh-huh.
You know
Yeah.
they can't do any wrong, but now like again they're in
But
the
even
spotlight.
like, look at how. I mean, I think she still loves him. She just can't be
Oh,
in love with
absolutely.
him.
Yeah.
But the way that she's like, I have to save his life before I can even think about getting a divorce or any of that stuff, and I think that's so commendable.
It's so
Yeah.
selfless. Yeah, it's nice.
And with him, I think the absence of basketball has just caused him to spiral, and it's devastating to have happen in our faces in the media
Uh-huh.
like that. It doesn't necessarily happen that way for other people.
But I kind of feel like maybe this scenario is better for Khloe because I don't think a lot of it would have came out if it wasn't for the media.
Sure.
Well, usually when people want to go through a divorce or when people are thinking about getting a divorce, they're not very public about it. Like they don't really
Yeah.
tell their friends and family their problems because they
Yeah.
don't want to admit that their relationship is flawed.
Yeah.
So if she's this upset in front of her friends and family and stuff, you know how upset she has to be in real life. I just feel really bad for her.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's true because
She
you
seems
never
like such a good person.
like Courtney
that's going through
always is
so
talking
much.
about Scott when they're fighting, and you never hear Khloe. I don't think we've ever heard Khloe be like, "Oh, Lamar and I are in a fight."
Right.
No, she's very private about that stuff. And It's so sad because she wants to help him out. Like, I need to get him help and help him through it. But you can only try to do that so much until you have to help yourself and put yourself first. And I think she realizes that in this episode. But he just seems sketchy anyways. Like, what was the whole phone thing about how he has prepaid phones
For an hour.
hour and gets rid of them? To me, that sounds like super drug lordy,
Yep.
Breaking Bad. Like, I don't want to be caught, so I need all these prepaid phones. What did you guys think about that?
I agree. I think it seems like he has a lot to hide.
Yep.
And a lot that can get out, but he still wants to do the bad things. So this is his way of like, I got this girl on this phone, this drug dealer on this phone, this, you know what I mean?
It's almost like a paranoia too. Like, I mean, if he's doing drugs and stuff, he could be just
Which
a little,
this
like,
is all alleged, people.
Speculation.
Not facts.
Speculation.
I would never let my boyfriend or husband have prepaid phones that he uses just for an hour.
I
I'm
don't
like,
even
okay,
know they made
that's
prepaid
shady,
phones.
first
That's
of
so
all.
shady.
That is so shady.
But that just goes to show how much she's been putting up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's put up with a ton of stuff that we don't even know about.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it's not even scratching the surface yet.
It's sad
So-
too because this keeps happening with all these couples, like the newlyweds, Jessica Simpson. Whenever they like amp up the couple to be fabulous, you know, Khloe and Lamar, unbreakable. They have perfumes, colognes.
I know, and
they
I
have
need to buy some of that
matching
before it
tattoos.
sells out.
I know, right? Before they
'Cause it
no
smells
longer
good.
make it.
I know, it
Yeah.
smells so good.
No, I know when
But,
they first got together,
sad.
everyone was like, "Oh, how long is this gonna last?" But then I was just like, I was really rooting for them because
Me too.
she just seems so in love. They just seem so genuine and real. But I think being in the media and especially as much attention, the Kardashians get so much attention,
Yeah.
and I feel like you're saying Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, like they're not together anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
All
a lot
those
of
hot
reality
newly-
shows
But I feel like too,
kind
a
of
lot
like
of times celebrity breakups, you're like, you just broke up because it was convenient. You didn't put any work into it. Like
Right.
for
That's-
this, you
yeah.
feel so bad for Khloe because she's giving it her all.
Oh, yeah. She worked her ass off. She did the best she could.
Well, I guess we don't have to listen to her baby voice anymore.
That's true. We got one bonus.
one little
One puff.
one perk.
Lamb.
It's sad though that she is so embarrassed to go out into the public and she doesn't want to see anyone because all of this going on. And she didn't do anything wrong. She's not the one that did any of the
But I
cheating
think
or the drugs.
Chloe's the strong one, and she's always the one that's got it all together and is honest. And I don't think she likes being vulnerable in front of people. And I think that's the thing. Like, if she goes out, like, she has to admit she's hurting or that things aren't okay, even though she didn't do anything wrong. Like, to show that side is probably hard for her.
Yeah, even just when the paparazzi was right outside Dash, she was like, they're, bleeping a-holes,
Yeah.
Just like,
I don't think anyone thinks that she did any wrong though.
No.
yeah, I thought that was weird when she said, I don't like how I'm affiliated. But I was like, but, you're just
You're the
his
victim
wife.
though. Like
But
you're
yeah,
not the one doing
But I
it.
think it even goes back to Kim and Chris Humphries and the way they split up. Khloe was very supportive of Kim, but also very vocal that you were only married for this short amount of time. And I think, like, Khloe really respects marriage and wasn't a type of person that just would throw it away
Right.
for anything.
Who would have known that Courtney and Scott would be that long,
I know.
hard,
I know.
lasting relationship?
that
Maybe
is
that's
so
the key.
weird.
You don't get married.
Don't get married. Just have kids, fight, live
That's-
together, make
it's
a lot of
funny.
money,
Break up, get a drinking problem,
get
get
back
help.
together.
Oh my god.
That's what Bruce was using as his example. He said, "Look at Courtney
He
and
did.
Which I
Scott."
was like,
and, look at-
Bruce has called out Courtney and Scott so many times.
Right.
Like, you cannot even.
and then he tried to come back and use them as
Yeah.
like the basis of his argument. I'm like, what? But anyway, he's learning from his kids, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think they're going to keep dragging on this kind of Lamar plot until the end of the season, almost like dragging on the divorce and the pain? Or do you think
I
they're
think
kind of
maybe
going
they'll touch on it a
just
couple times
let it
and
die
then
out?
they'll say she's getting a divorce.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to let him do anything more personal.
Yeah.
I think she should get a divorce. She is looking hot on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like she
Oh,
looks
yeah.
Well, she filed the
fabulous right
papers.
now.
So
Oh, she did.
she
did.
looks amazing. So girl needs to get out there and work it because she looks fabulous.
She does.
She
Yeah.
needs a better man.
I think
Yeah.
Treat her
that's-
right.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Do you guys have any juicy news or gossip?
We just need to talk about Kendall and Harry Styles.
Yes. I
They were-
also, yeah.
What's,
okay, you
what's
go
the
first.
concert they were? I can't remember the name of it now because it's been a long day. But they were just pictures at a concert and his arms wrapped around her.
Really?
But he is refused, which I think is smart, to be on the Kardashians.
I think that's smart too.
Yeah.
He's a musician.
Yeah.
He has a big career ahead of him and one he's working on, so I don't blame him. I heard that Kylie and Jaden Smith were partying with some friends at the Beverly Hilton or some big hotel in Beverly Hills, and they got caught being out late past their curfew. She's still, how old is she? I always mess up the age, and then you guys are going to tell us on YouTube. 16.
Who didn't stay out past their curfew when they were 16?
I know.
What's a curfew?
Yeah.
I just love that they can get hotel rooms at that age. I couldn't afford a popsicle.
I mean, they have,
That's awesome.
Their last names, both of them are pretty big, so they can do whatever they want.
Do whatever they want. They can run this town.
Unlimited credit.
Do you guys have any more news and gossip, or should we get into some predictions?
Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So this episode was very sad because there's a lot of divorce talk, but not the predictions, the preview for next week shows Scott doing karate, which looks absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that next week's episode is one of the funny, pranking, crazy Kardashian episodes that I love. But I think that there's going to be a lot of changes in the family this new season. Absolutely. I'm excited about the new season. We had a little break, but the family's been changing a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Bruce has a ponytail. Kim's blonde now. She had a baby.
So
there's
many
2
things
divorces going on, 2 houses.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I can't wait to see what Kim and Kanye's house is going to look like.
Oh,
70-foot pool? Like, can I house it, please?
Amazing.
I'm interested to see if they cover, because both of Scott's parents passed away like recently, and I'm wondering if they're gonna cover that on the show, because that's gonna be
his parents have been on the show too.
Yeah,
so
they both have.
Oh.
They should.
So I don't know how that's gonna work. We just had a boom in the studio. We're not sure what happened.
It's all my fault.
It's okay.
I didn't know his parents passed away.
I didn't know that
That's
either.
news to me.
They passed away right by each other too.
like
I think his mom died and then his dad died like right after, or something like that.
I
like
can't
a few
imagine
months
that they
after.
were really old. So what happened?
They haven't really released.
They didn't say why.
anything.
Oh, that's so sad.
So it's probably not going to be on the show then, because he's pretty private. He's
I think
tight-lipped
they'll
with that.
touch on it.
You think so?
I don't think Kris Jenner will let them get away without it. But
Kris Jenner.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about the cause of deaths or anything about how they died, but I saw pictures of them going out for the funeral on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So
I missed that.
It's really sad.
Do you guys have any predictions?
I predict that Kylie will actually say more than 3 words.
There you go.
In an
Such
episode.
a good prediction.
I just think next show looks pretty funny, so I'm looking forward to some laughs, not such serious stuff.
Me too. Gotta have some fun with the Kardashians next time. Well, thank you for tuning into our show. Where can they find you guys?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler.
I'm Twitter, Instagram at XOXO Cheska, CESCA.
You can find me on Instagram. My name is Stephaune, STEPHAUNE. Nobody spells it that way.
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Danica Kennedy. Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or
Sorry
principals.
guys, if that was awkward for me.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.